Let's talk about the second couple in American musicals. This is Movie and TV Chat. I'm Liz. After reading the book The Secret Life of the American Musical, How Broadway Shows Are Built by Jack Viertel, I realized that there was such a thing as a second couple. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't have a word for it. What he means by second couple is an old device to keep the plot going. He says that Shakespeare used it a lot, think Much Ado About Nothing, and operettas in the 1920s usually had them a soubrette and a comedian, principally to provide laughs, since the leading couple had to sing like birds, and actors who could do that tended to be stiff and humorless. He says by the time Hammerstein got to Oklahoma, the idea was virtually obligatory. Hence, Ado Annie and Will Parker, Oklahoma, Carrie Pipperidge and Mr. Snow, Carousel, Lyette and Lieutenant Cable, South Pacific, and Tuptim and Lunta, The King and I. The structure remained unchanged as Hammerstein laid out his librettos, but the intention evolved quickly into something more sophisticated and challenging than it had ever been. He later goes on to talk about Frank Loesser's Guys and Dolls, where the couples are split evenly, and it's hard to tell which one comes first. So in West Side Story, the second couple might be Anita and Bernardo, because there isn't really any other couple that we spend all that much time with. But are they really comic couple? At first they're like a comic couple, but then theirs turned tragic too. So it's a bit more complicated there. And they're not just side characters, because Bernardo's actions lead to things that happen to the main character. Anita's actions lead to things that happen to the main characters. Yeah, so the second couple is an interesting concept, and it makes you start thinking about every other show that, or either musical or stage show or movie that has a second couple, and how do they help the plot? In what way are they useful to the plot? Are they comic? Are they tragic? Are they this sort of filler to give us, leaven the mood a little bit if the first couple's a little too dramatic? It's interesting. Thinking of the musical She Loves Me, which is a musical version of The Shop Around the Corner, they really heightened the second love story between Ilona and Stephen. I do believe that was heightened a bit. If I remember Shop Around the Corner with James Stewart, I don't think the second couple was so prominent at all. And then we think of In the Good Old Summertime, which is a different musical version made for film with Judy Garland. Was there a second couple in that one? It might have been between Spring Byington and Essie Segal. Yeah, and they were a comic couple. So there was that, but they weren't really in it that often. And then I'm thinking You've Got Mail, another version of the same story. Is there a second couple there? Yes, because each of the two people have partners of some kind, the two main characters. And do they end up together? I think the two partners dump the main characters and start dating each other. I could be wrong. Could be mixing that up with When Harry Met Sally. Yeah, so does it have a second couple? Not really, but kind of yes. They used to, you notice that, this is a whole other topic, but we could talk about how in the 90s and early 2000s, you would see the main characters already had partners and they're just ready to dump them by the end. So whereas you could get that sometimes in earlier movies, but a lot of the times they're looking for somebody, they're widowed, they're divorced, they're single, they're not already still dating somebody. So that was what was different with You've Got Mail. But is there a second couple there? I don't remember one. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting, fun little mental exercise just to figure out who was the second couple, why do they exist, and why do they exist where they exist in the show or in the movie.